Join millions of supporters by signing up for our newsletter. Morning MUSTREAD HRC'S Sarah McBride on the history and hope of Danica ROEMS campaign. McBride at Sarah McBride writes, last November, Virginia voters rejected Donald Trump. Now, 1 year later, those same voters have the chance to make a national statement by rejecting the politics of hate once again by electing people like Danica Rome and Ralph Northam. Should that happen, for the first time ever, a 12-year-old transgender girl from Manassas or Norfolk will be able to walk into that beautiful Capitol designed by Jefferson and know that they are not alone, that someone in that legislature understands them. For that transgender youth, Danica's election wouldn't just be a headline or history. It would be hope. More from HuffPost, at PW. Danica's candidacy isn't just a headline or history. It's hope. My piece on her candidacy https://t.corxm4xf3. Sarah McBride at Sarah McBride, November 6, 2017. HRC endorses Julie Johnson for House District 115 in the Texas House. Julie Johnson is a champion for working families who will fight for everyday Texans, said HRC Senior Vice President for Policy and Political Affairs Jody Winterhoff. We proudly endorse her candidacy to represent Texas House District 115 and look forward to working with another strong, pro-equality voice in the Texas legislature. The choice between Johnson and incumbent State Rep. Matt Rinaldi could not be clearer. While Johnson will fight to ensure the equal treatment of every Texan, Rinaldi is a hard-right legislator who sponsored Texas' failed anti-transgender bill last session and enjoys support from some of the state's most egregious anti-equality groups. More from HRC. U.S. General Services Administration GSA removes LGBTQ people from EEO statement yet again. We see the Trump administration actively seeking to undermine rights for LGBTQ people, said David Stacy, HRC Government Affairs Director. The GSA's move to exclude sexual orientation and gender identity from their equal employment opportunity statement is mean-spirited, deceptive and irresponsible. The GSA's EEO statement is meant to inform workers and applicants about their legal protections that federal employees have had for decades. Cutting specific mention of sexual orientation and gender identity protections is a slap in the face to LGBTQ federal employees who proudly serve and sadly signals that this administration does not value them. The GSA should immediately restore the previous, accurate EEO policy. Read the GSA's EEO here. More from the Washington Blade. Tuesday tweet HRC on the ground for PROEQUALITY candidates on Election Day. Do you have a plan to vote? HRC members and supporters have been on the ground fighting for pro-equality candidates across the country. Today, it's time to get out the vote. Check out these guides from HRC if you live in Georgia, North Carolina or Virginia. As polls open across Virginia in critical elections, HRC is already on the ground for pro-equality candidates. Go vote today. Election Day pick.twitter.com Vafakush3, Human Rights Campaign at HRC November 7, 2017 Wednesday. HRC, human rights groups rally in support of Egyptian LGBTQ community. Over the last 2 months, Egyptian authorities have been rounding up and arresting LGBTQ people as part of a wider crackdown on human rights in the country. HRC, Human Rights First, Amnesty International and Egyptian LGBTQ advocates will be gathering to show solidarity with the Egyptian LGBTQ community, call on the Egyptian government to stop the crackdown, and urge the international community to condemn these human rights abuses. For more information on this event, please contact JavaScript. They must be enabled to view this email address. ICYMI. Check out this story that highlights a recent troubling trip to Egypt by members of Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board. More from the Washington Post. Anti-LGBTQ hate group sues Maryland school for supporting trans students. The suit, filed by lawyer allied with Alliance Defending Freedom on behalf of an anonymous student and her mother, seeks to dismantle the school's policies that support transgender students. More from WBAL. The Frederick County Teachers Association, the Maryland State Education Association and the National Education Association have requested to intervene as defendants in the case. More from the Frederick News Post. Anti-LGBTQ flyers litter University of West Florida campus. University President Martha Saunders condemned the flyers, saying, "We are committed to ensuring our institution is a safe and respectful environment for all. We do not tolerate acts of hate or prejudice targeting members of our community." Campus police are investigating. More from the Associated Press and Pensacola News-Journal. Website helping LGBTQ faithful find welcoming places of worship. Church Clarity uses crowdsourcing to suggest churches that embrace LGBTQ people. More from South Florida Gay News. San Francisco to honor Harvey Milk with memorial designed by architecture firm Perkins Eastman. The memorial will be built on Harvey Milk Plaza in the Castro district. More from DAZN. Additionally, an art installation in honor of the 40th anniversary of Milk's historic collection will be unveiled on Wednesday at the corner of Castro Street and Market Street. More from SBC San Francisco. Trans teen finds love and support at Ohio High School. Emily Flauto tells the Columbus Dispatch's Kimball Perry about the support she received from her family, friends and school during her transition, and why she's the happiest she's ever been. More from the Columbus Dispatch. Gay New Jersey principal files suit after being fired. Timothy Hart, former principal of the Lincoln School in Edison, asserts he was fired for being gay. A school board member allegedly wrote a letter to the administration regarding Hart's orientation and advocating for his removal. More from NJ.com. Voting ends in non-binding Australia. Postal vote on marriage equality results are expected on November 15. Despicable Bermuda launches bill to revoke marriage equality. The British Overseas Territory achieved marriage equality in May through a ruling of the country's top court. More from Pink News. Reading Rainbow Fast Company interviews an openly gay teacher about how his students accept him. Advocate lists 10 companies leading the way on global LGBTQ equality. PBS NewsHour shares a website that supports the work of non-binary actors. Youth Kiakwas looks at the unique struggles the Muslim LGBTQ community faces. Have news. Send us your news and tips at JavaScript. They must be enabled to view this email address. Click here to subscribe to AM_equality and follow at HRC for all the latest news. Thanks for reading. Filed under AM Equality, Community. LGBTQ people are under attack. Help HRC fight back. Give now.